Another new week, another batch of great PlayStation 4 game deals, and that's what I'm going to be highlighting in today's video. We are looking at the physical game deals. Of course, Sony is still running their PlayStation Store summer sale right now, so if you want some digital sale, take a look at that. We've already covered that pretty in-depth. Maybe we'll do one final video highlighting some great deals as a part of that. But nonetheless, there are a ton of great physical game deals available right now, so without further ado, let's get right into it. We've got to cover deals from Amazon as well as Best Buy. So kicking things off, I do want to give a mention to Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition, which is down to $25 from $40. Now, Nier Automata is a game that at this point originally released well over 2 years ago, back in early 2017, and for a long time, it really held up in price, but thankfully, we had the release of the Game of the Yorha edition, and while this version doesn't really add anything that robust to the game, you get some avatars. I believe there's a theme in there as well, and some in-game items, nothing too consequential to the core of the game. However, really, the big part about this release was that they were knocking the MSRP down. It was going from $59.99 to $39.99, and now when it does go on sale, you get the game for a great price, and in this case, for $25, Nier Automata is a great pickup. Now, the game itself is obviously tremendous. Platinum Games did a wonderful job with the game. You've got that great fast-paced action gameplay, but not only that, you've got the excellent music that the first Nier was known for. The story is a little convoluted at first, but if you actually play through the game a couple times, like you have to, it really comes together by the end, and it's actually a very satisfying conclusion. Entirely, I would say that the game is very good, and for $25, it's definitely worth a pickup. Next up, we have Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That is a very recent release, and while it's not seeing a steep discount, it is $10 off, knocking it down to $29.99. Now, of course, this was a Kickstarter game done by Koji Igarashi of Castlevania fame, and you really see that shine through with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I was really skeptical with this game just because we saw how games like Mighty No. 9 turned out, and I was just like, man, I don't know if Bloodstained is gonna be that great, but then it turned out to be an awesome game. Even after the initial trailers that didn't look great, by the time that this game was released, it turned out to be a phenomenal game. It's a gothic horror action side-scrolling RPG set in 9th century England. You play as Miriam, an orphan scarred by an alchemist's curse which slowly crystallizes her body. To save humanity and herself in the process, she must fight through the castle and defeat the summoner Cabal. Collect, craft, and unlock a vast array of weapons, equipment, and loot to defeat the countless minions and bosses of hell that await. Of course, plays very similarly to a Castlevania game, and now for $30, yes, it's still relatively expensive, but I would say it's well worth that price point, so definitely give that a look. Next up, for you JRPG fans out there, one of the most iconic JRPGs of all time is Final Fantasy X, and you can get Final Fantasy X and X-2. The HD Remastered Collection on the PlayStation 4 is down to $14.75. Now, this isn't a steep discount, given that it's already down to an MSRP of $19.99. People are just buying it outright, but Final Fantasy X is a fantastic JRPG. However, it does show its age a little bit. Some of the voice acting isn't the best. The animations are rather stiff. However, you still get that great gameplay, great music, very good story, and you get X and X-2 along with a bonus audio drama that really ties the story together. A lot of content here, even if you're going into it just to play Final Fantasy X, because I know not everybody was into X-2. Just to go back and play FF10 is well worth it, especially considering you're only paying $14.75. Alright, so those are the 3 deals available on Amazon. The great deals are definitely available at Best Buy this week. First up, Mortal Kombat 11 is $20 off, down to $39.99. This is a great buy for Mortal Kombat 11, which is a game that did have its fair share of problems initially. I was very vocal about the grindy elements in this game, and a lot of the microtransactions. However, a lot of those issues have been remedied, and now it's down to $39.99. If you want a fighting game that at its core is high quality, Mortal Kombat 11 is definitely going to offer you that, and it's one of those fighting games, much like a lot of other fighters that are being released. Whether you're just a casual fighting game fan like myself, or you're somebody that really wants to get in deep on it and learn every little nuance and mechanic, Mortal Kombat 11 has you covered in all of those regards. And now that it is down to $40, I would say it's a great pickup. Now, of course, there is a sizable amount of DLC attached to this game as well. What would a fighting game be in 2019 if there's not a ton of DLC? But hey, it is what it is. That's kind of something we've come to expect. And $40 for MK11, I would say, is a pretty good buy, so give that a look for yourself. Next up, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is seeing quite a steep discount. At this point, it is nearly a year old, but it is $20 off from its MSRP of $39.99 down to just $19.99. Now, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was a game that got a little bit of a mixed reception at launch. I would say it's a very good game. Do I think it's as strong as Rise of the Tomb Raider? No, but I do think it's a very good game. From a gameplay standpoint, SOTR is definitely a step up, and it has a lot more content and it really allows you to tailor the experience how you want to tailor it. However, the fault of Shadow of the Tomb Raider has to be from a narrative standpoint. The story isn't very good, and it's not like I'm going into Tomb Raider expecting a compelling narrative. However, I am expecting a story that's at least relatively coherent, and in the case of SOTR, it kind of falls flat in that regard too. However, considering it is down to just $19.99, I would say it's a great pickup, especially if you played Tomb Raider, if you played Rise of the Tomb Raider, you enjoyed those games. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to offer you great stuff from the gameplay side of things. Next up, Kingdom Hearts, the story so far is $10 off, down to $29.99. I like to give this a recommendation ahead of Kingdom Hearts 3, which is readily available discounted at this point. You can find that game for $19.99 or $29.99 pretty regularly. However, before you play Kingdom Hearts 3, you should really check out Kingdom Hearts, the story so far. It gets you going on everything you need out of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, Ray Chain of Memories, Dream Drop Distance, a variety of other cinematics that piece the story together as well. There's so much to delve into when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, and yes, you can jump into Kingdom Hearts 3 and watch the recap video and have a decent understanding of the story, but a recap video is only going to do so much as opposed to everything that Kingdom Hearts has to offer, and with all of these games, you do get invested into all of that. Now, it should be noted, these games have aged a little bit, especially with games like Kingdom Hearts 1, even Kingdom Hearts 2. These games are from, 2002, 2004, 2005. It's been a long time since these games were initially released, and yes, they are upped a little bit from a visual standpoint, but the core gameplay remains intact. I personally can go back into the game and play them, no problem. There's a lot of nostalgic IPs, of course, featured in these titles. And of course, with a game like Dream Drop Distance, that is more of a recent release, so that holds up a little bit better. But even that game was originally a 3DS title. So just keep your expectations in line, but you do get a lot of value for your money. When you take a look at the sheer quantity of hours and games that you're getting, it's kind of absurd considering you're only paying $30. Next up, how about a great open world Western RPG? Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition is $10 off for $30. This is a great buy. I am probably a little bit higher on Kingdom Come Deliverance than most people, but I thought it was a fantastic historical open world RPG with a great emphasis on realism. And the Royal Edition, of course, includes the base game as well as 5 add-ons, so you get a lot to delve into with this one. The add-ons are quite good, and the base game itself offers a lot of content. The Royal Edition is really the version of the game that you should buy at this point. Yes, you could get the regular edition for a little bit cheaper, but you don't get the DLC, and the DLC is quite sizable. Now, do expect a little bit more of a realistic RPG that doesn't hold your hand as much. However, it's engaging all the more, and for $30, I would say it's a great pickup at this point. Next up, another fantastic JRPG, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age is $20 off for $29.99. Kind of insane that we're coming up on a year since this game has been released, but hey, it's still as good as ever, and this is more of a traditional JRPG following that old school turn-based playstyle. It doesn't really deviate from the norm all too much, however, it does add a couple of new elements to also make it accessible for a modern gamer. I still find that the turn-based playstyle works relatively well. And with Dragon Quest XI, you have a charming cast of characters, and for $30, I would say that this is a great buy, so give that a look as well if you have yet to. And if you're a fan of JRPGs, this is one that should definitely be in your library. Next up, here's a game that I always go to bat for, and it's been pretty cheap on Best Buy for a while now, and that is Prey. It is $12 off for just $7.99. What an insane deal on Prey. It's a terrific game released back in 2017, and back then, I was saying it was one of the most underrated games of that year, maybe the most underrated. And how about this? Prey was actually released after Nier Automata. Nier Automata selling for $25, Prey selling for a third of that price point at $8. I just thought that would be something cool to note. Prey's a great game as well, done by Arcane Studios, and it does follow a little bit more of a Metroidvania playstyle, not necessarily in presentation, but gameplay in the sense that there is a little bit vaster of a world to explore. However, you gotta get certain items, and that'll let you backtrack and go into new areas. It's kind of well designed in that regard. They've released quite a few updates for Prey as well, so it's become an even better experience, but $8 for the base game is so good, so definitely give that a look. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to Metro Exodus, which is $30 off, down to $30, which is very good considering it's still a relatively recent release. It came out about 6 months ago. Metro Exodus, I have said, in my opinion, is the weakest of the Metro games, but I thought incredibly highly of Metro 2033 and Last Light, so it's not like that's saying all too much. Exodus still offers a lot to like, and I would say that overall it is a very good game. Some of the fundamental gameplay gameplay elements are a little bit not as great. However, I do think the overall quality of the game is still pretty strong, and I think the story is good, I think the atmosphere is really good, and apparently 4A Games is working on another Metro title alongside THQ Nordic, so that's pretty interesting. But for now, if you've already played the Redo Collection with Metro 2033 and Last Light, do give Exodus a look after you play those two games. Check out those two games first because they're super cheap, and again, I do think they're stronger games, but Exodus is still a worthwhile playthrough. $30 for it is very good. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, a ton of great deals available right now. If I was to give you guys highlights based on what I mentioned in this video, Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition for $25 is fantastic. Bloodstained, while it's not seeing a steep discount for $30, that's really good. MK11 for $40 is obviously really good, and KCD Royal Edition for $30 is also a great buy. So we'll leave links to everything in the description box down below. And that's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.